The debt-free community has changed a lot. And today I'm spilling a little bit of tea on the DFC. Let's keep watching. And BG's here to tell you to get back in line. Dave would do the same, and don't make me call Chris Hogan on you. Don't. I've only met him once, but he would back me up on this. So before we get into it, if you're new, I'm Sarah, also known as Budget Girl here on the internet, and I make videos every single week on how to live a better, fuller, freer financial life. If you are interested in learning more about that and freeing yourself from debt and living an overall better financial life, I'd love it if you subscribe to this channel or like this video, or both, preferably both. So today we're talking about the debt-free community, and do not get me wrong, I absolutely love the debt-free community, and I even think it would be fair to call me one of like the OG members. I have been putting my financial and personal life on YouTube for coming up on 5 years now, which is a long time in YouTube land. When I started back in 2014, I was $33,000 in debt. I was making $26,000 a year as a newspaper reporter, and I just moved to a brand new town for a job where I knew no one, coming off of a bout of unemployment, which was terrifying, by the way. I had also just started the Dave Ramsey baby steps and needed a little inspo. Back in 2014, the only other people that were on YouTube kind of talking about their finances were Lydia Sin, His and Her Money, and Debt is Done. And I loved and still love all of those channels. They were truly amazing and still are. But there wasn't anyone at the time that was A, single, or B, low income, talking about money on YouTube, at least no one that I could find. I knew at the time and the place that I was that I couldn't do it alone. So I started talking to the camera, looking for community, and community I found. And it has really, really grown from there in the most amazing ways. Really the only place that you could get your kind of debt-free inspo fix at the time was either listening to the Dave Ramsey show online or watching it, but at the time there wasn't like a live chat feature, and there weren't all these Facebook groups, and there certainly wasn't a hashtag associated with it. So there was no real interaction between the people that were watching the Dave Ramsey show online during the 1 to 4 hours. You could watch the people who had made it do their debt-free scream, and you could see them and you could want to be them, but it was the end product. It wasn't the people who were kind of fighting through the journey to get there. And I wanted to be that. I wanted a piece of that. And so I put my current debt total in the title of every single video that I was making on YouTube. And I believe I'm the only person who's ever really done that, probably for a myriad of very good reasons. In fact, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm one of the first people in kind of this sphere to show my actual budgets every month online, full transparency with my real numbers. At first I did it just to fire back at commenters who were telling me that I couldn't possibly pay off debt when my take home every month was about $1,400. So instead of arguing with them, I just started publishing them. And because I was young and single, and still one of those things, I was the only person who my numbers affected, so I didn't really have a problem showing them to the world. There was nobody else to like throw that really crazy idea up against to tell me no, so I just did it. The community started to grow, and very soon I was not the only young single person or low income person on YouTube talking about my debt and my triumphs and my struggles, and I loved it. Dave upgraded his YouTube channel to make live videos where there was a comment section where you could go and talk with all the other weirdos during the show. And soon after, a Facebook group popped up so that those weirdos could talk outside of the show's running hours. And around that time, Instagram also started to get popular, and people started posting about their journeys there. In a stroke of brilliance, the beautiful Amanda from Debt Free in Sunny CA put out a poll online to start a new Instagram hashtag so that all of us could kind of find each other and talk in the same spirit to each other, because hashtag Dave Ramsey and like hashtag money were getting really crazy. So the hashtag debt-free community was born. And it's since blown up. People share their real numbers. They do monthly total community payoff roundups, and people share like on a daily basis how much they've been saving, how much they've been paying off. It's a really cool, inspiring, and amazing thing. The debt-free community has brought me so much joy. Just knowing that there were other people out there doing the same thing that I was doing with money, when a lot of people in my physical real life were kind of acting like I was nuts, was really something that I needed and cherished and still do. Debt-free community has also brought me accountability. Having to report my numbers each and every month really kept me going and like urged me to do better, especially when I was getting out of debt. It has brought me friends, some of whom I've actually met in person, people that I never would have met otherwise in the world, that just, I feel like they get my soul and I get theirs. And when we've met in person, it's felt like we already had met in person and we've known each other forever. It was a kind of an Insta friendship in real life when we've only ever talked online before, which is a really truly magical thing. I talk with these people weekly, if not daily, and they are a huge part of my life. They are the greatest sounding board ever and a compendium of knowledge that is absolutely invaluable. I couldn't put a price on it if I had a gun to my head. So much of finances, investing, money management is insanely complicated, and I couldn't understand it all perfectly myself, even if I had 10 lifetimes to do the research, and I've kind of tried, but it's not a wise use of my time. I could be side hustling. So these people are out there who've become experts in every single niche, whether it's meal planning, the stock market, credit, house hacking, anything you can think of. There are people out there who have really invested themselves in this niche of money, and I can go and ask them questions about it, and they're happy to share their knowledge. Another great thing about the debt-free community, and especially the debt-free community having gotten so big, is that all the YouTubers that are out there, all the Instagram people, there are so many people in this space that, unlike when I started, you can't not find someone that you'll relate to in some way. Whether you're a single mom or you're low income or whatever unique situation you're in, there are people out there that are dealing with the same things that you're dealing with. Not only can you find people in your same situation, you can find people to look at and watch and aspire to be. That you can see that they have worked through the part of the journey that you're in and what their life looks like now, which is what I hope to be for you guys. I also watch a lot of channels that are just like straight up hustling super hard. They're still getting out of debt, and they are insanely inspiring to me because they work so hard, and they remind me to be grateful for what I have now and to keep challenging myself. So here's the tea. There are only two negatives that I can think of about the debt-free community. FYI, this is a tangent, but I believe it needs to be addressed, and I'm bad at following collab directions. Negative one, I cannot watch/follow everyone. There are too many people now. In the old days, you could watch everybody and catch, you know, like a rerun of the Dave Ramsey show. But currently, there are so many people in the space, which is amazing, that I can't possibly keep up with everyone and still make money, which obviously is a no-no to not do that. It's a baby step stopper. And two, I see a lot of people in this community, because it's gotten so big, fall into the comparison/condemnation trap. I've, with a very heavy heart, seen people dissuaded from participating in this community and joining this community because they're made fun of or people criticize their money choices. In some places, the competition and the judgment has gotten way too high. And BG's here to tell you to get back in line. Dave would do the same, and don't make me call Chris Hogan on you. Don't. I've only met him once, but he would back me up on this. When I started sharing all of my numbers, all of my purchases, my debt payoff each month, back in the day, I wasn't competing with anyone but myself. Chris and Jackie from Gazelle Intense were doing the same thing at the time, but their income was in such a different ballpark in mine, it was like comparing apples and oranges. I have seen way too many sweet people in my comment sections, on boards, online places. I've seen too many sweet people get harangued for keeping cable or going to Starbucks or keeping like a storage unit. It is not okay, friends. If you are new to this community, or if you are in this community and you are trying to better your financial life, do not let my numbers or anyone else's make you feel bad about yourself. If you are here, it's because you're trying to do better financially, and that's amazing. And I give you every internet high five in the world. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for keeping your personal financial journey keyed to your personal life. Just because you haven't gone scorched earth like I did doesn't mean that you're not making great strides. And if you are one of my viewers that is hating on other people for the way that they spend their money, stop it. Stop it. I have to remind people so many times that my first few budgets sucked. When I started, I was barely making the minimum payment on my student loans. 98% of what I was paying on my student loans was paying back interest from when I had deferred it. We have all made horrible financial decisions. It is why we are here. I got better. The amazing people on here were showing me how I could do better because of helpful comments saying, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but you could do this cheaper. Not telling me I was stupid for having a dog because that's an extra expense that I could put at my debt. Don't do that to people. Be nice here. I will call Chris Hogan on you people. This is a journey, and you can't compare your page 3 to somebody else's chapter 35. And doing so will only make you miserable and impede your progress. Even I fall prey to this. Often I feel pressure because I don't put up some of my monthly report videos as fast as other people. Seriously, how do some of you guys put them like the month recap out on the 25th? How are you doing that? Or maybe because I'm not giving as much as Kelly or saving as much as Conrad. But my life is so much better now. My financial future is, I wish there was more than a 360, like a Tasmanian devil whirlwind spin around from the way that my future looked like before I got into this and before I started being in this space. And it's because I choose to spend my time in this community surrounded by people who make me want to do better. And that's why I'm kind of getting off on a tangent on a video about how amazing the debt-free community is and celebrating that 2 years ago the tag started. But as someone who's been here since basically the beginning, I just don't want anyone to not have the amazing experience that I did. And if that means like pointing my finger at a couple of y'all, you know who you are, I'll do it. So all of that said, the debt-free community is so amazing, and I am both proud and honored to be a part of it. I hope that it only grows stronger and more close-knit and more supportive as it continues to hopefully explode and we're all weirdos together and we can just take over the world because we don't need the government's money anymore. So as you go into this new year in the debt-free community, please be encouraging, be inspiring, be the best version of yourselves, both in your budgets and in the world. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for being a part of my life, a huge part of my life and of this community. And thank you to my collaborators who probably have much less controversial videos coming out today. They'll all be linked below. Remember that you are this community and you're what makes it great. And happy 2-year anniversary to the hashtag debt-free community. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'd love it if you hit a like, if you would like to be an encouraging part of this community, which I know you all would. And also, please tell me, how long have you been in this space? I really want to know. When did you first discover kind of the Dave Ramsey, financial, frugal, YouTube, Instagram, community, sphere, world, nest? Is it a nest? No, getting weird. And I will see you next time. Bye.